be why they're a bit of a handful out there on the track.
Yes and no, depends on how bumpy the track is with those cars.
Right. Yeah. But he's doing real well. But now it looks like Crusher may be off the track. So we may be looking at an 8-car race right now, quite a bit down from the 15 that we started from.
Yeah, good starting numbers, of course, but there's been a high attrition rate to this race. I know Layla was watching the Indy 500 and had to leave because of that.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at our leader, Kevin Binkley. Okay, passing Jimmy Eifling up right now to put him another lap down. Now he's been on pit road, but I'm showing Lapdog has not been on pit road. It's running in second place, and he's been having a super race out there today. I wonder, he surely has to have been on pit road. That's got to be a glitch with my IRTVO, because everybody's been on pit road by him.
I know one little particular little feature of the F1 car is that if you've got it running low to the ground, you can't put a full tank of fuel in it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Oh, because it throws off your setup. Hold on a minute.
It adjusts the ride height.
Yeah, go ahead, dog.
Apparently Jimmy just ran out of fuel coming down the back straight here, so he's going to try limping it in. Hopefully he might be able to make it to the pits, but probably not. Something, I guess they didn't actually fill up his tank on his fuel stop, and Kevin Smith just got disqualified.
Just before
for
I jumped in the booth, Lapdog said that his aim coming into this race was consistency because he knew that he didn't have the pace, and he's definitely doing that.
Okay, so Kevin Smith got black flagged for not serving a meatball flag or something, and Jimmy Eifling out of the race as well. He ran out of fuel, and he is trying to limping it around, but I don't know if I guess maybe he did make it. I think he must have had to tow. I would say he probably had to tow.
I'd say that's more than likely.
Yeah, I guess he ran out of gas on the backstretch somewhere. Dog was reporting to me. He's kind of been my in-race reporter, which is kind of cool, you know. He kind of keeps me informed because, see, I can't hear what's going on the track, and it's kind of cool having somebody to help you out like that. So Jimmy Eifling.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Yeah. So Jimmy trying to get that thing filled up with fuel while he's towing right now, but get it filled up with fuel and get it back out there in the race. He is in 8th right now. Him and Kevin Smith both having issues. Apparently Kevin got disqualified for not serving a meatball flag. So meatball flag is when they tell you you've got to come in, and if you don't, I'm not sure about road courses. How many laps is it? The same? 4 laps or something you got to come in?
I think it's 3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah, and if you don't come in that time, it will just disqualify you from the race. So, but look, I wanted to look here to see who else is on pit road. Fosbender's still on pit road, and Crusher with a lot of damage on that BMW. He is missing all kinds of parts on that thing. Wow, the hood's missing. Got the engine exposed right on that thing.
Yeah, that thing's a mess.
Wow, he must have hit a wall.
Yeah, it looks like he's got left rear damage as well, so it looks like he's gone front end in and back in as well.
Well, we'll take a look at the back end here. Man, a lot of damage. Man, he must have creamed a wall really hard. Wow. Yeah, there's no hood or nothing, and I mean the front end is just completely gone. just mangled. So
I'm
very
going to go back and see if I can find out what happened.
Sure. Yeah, let me know what you find out. I'm going to get up here through these drivers. Eifling back out on the track now. Did get the fuel put in that car he needed. And if he could get up here, he could pick up a position to get by Kevin Smith. Dog running in 6th place overall, 2nd in his class. To Robbie Morrison, both of them running the Cadillacs today. So Dog doing a super job. He has really been picking up a ton lately. I've been noticing week after week he has just been progressively keeps getting better and better and better. And man, I'm telling you, he is definitely doing a great job out here on the track with these cars.
Going back through the replay, I still can't see what happened to Crusher. I'm only speculating, but there's a good chance that he's gone into the outside wall in the oval.
That's highly possible.
Looking at the kind of damage he's got on that side of that car, I'd say that's what's happened. He's completely pancaked the left-hand side of that BMW.
Man, oh man. All right, 5th place here, Darren Kewen, still running a super race here. 2nd in his class to Mark Hewitt, and but 5th overall. So Darren running a great job today, or great race today, and he is in the BMW as well. Yeah, there we go. I like lost it there for a minute.
Easy enough done with this race. It's really busy out on the track. You don't know who's where just because of the pace of the Formula 1 cars, and it's a real mix with the GT3 cars. Oh,
sure thing, yep. Robbie Morrison doing an absolute amazing job out here today in the Cadillac. He's mixing it right up with these guys, and he has been steadily worked his way up to the front as well all day long. Mark Hewitt, though, looks like Mark's got a little damage on the side of that Twitch car. He is running the BMW today and 3rd overall, and he is top of his class in the BMW. So hopefully we do get a chance, like I said at the end of this race, we get a chance to talk to each and every one of these drivers. I'm really looking forward to talking to these guys, because I think this has been a test of attrition here today. These guys, the inner road course part of this track is so tight and so narrow. If you can kind of follow along here with Mark, you'll see some of the narrows as this really gets narrow with these cars, and to try to pass somebody is almost next to impossible on this inner part of the road course.
If you're driving a Formula 1 car around here, you have to be oh so careful in that inner road course. It is so tight and you come up on people so fast. You pretty much have to give them warning before you've actually entered the infield itself that you're coming up on them.
Right. And you know, that comes down to what we were talking about. I talk about a lot in my broadcast, that communication out on the track has got to be key. You know, you've got to, I think that's one of the most important things, part of a race, is you've got to let the drivers ahead of you and behind you know your intentions. You know, whether you're going to pit or whether you're going to pass them on the right or on the left, you know. So I think communication is one of the most important keys out there on a race. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree, especially with the multi-class system. It also makes the race a lot more enjoyable for the drivers. They can have a yarn to each other while they're going around.
And I think that's part of the reason, I think, why you guys have such clean races here. The communication out there. And, you know, I wish a lot of, like my league, I wish that the guys would have a lot more communication, you know, and you know, that I think that just makes for, like you say, a more enjoyable race if you're communicating with your fellow teammates out there on the racetrack, you know, or opponents.
I mean, it's a great system. Of course, Dog hosts his own TeamSpeak server, which we all tune into, which is rather useful. Of course, in-game chat is going constantly. I've got it in my ears as well at the moment, the in-game chat.
Andrew, I see you in Twitch chat there. This would be a great league for you to get into, bro. I know you love road course racing, and I'll tell you what, look up the Dogs of Endurance Racing. You would enjoy this. This is really a great league.
I certainly recommend it. I've had so much fun since joining these guys at the start of the season.
Yeah, Lewis is a fellow Australian too. Lewis Van.
Oh, that'd be new. I'm the only Australian in this league that I know of.
Yeah, Andrew, he's from Australia, and he's a great guy. He loves road course racing.
Well, it takes a bit of dedication for me because of the time zone difference. I find myself getting up at silly hours of the day. I mean, it's 2:10 a.m. in the morning where I am at the moment.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about it, yeah. All right, Lapdog still running in second in his class. To Kevin Binkley, our leader, and it looks like Binkley's coming up on him to put him another lap down. And he does.
Kevin Binkley is just phenomenal. The fact that someone can be so fast and so consistent is beyond me.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think, Lewis, and you'll probably agree with me on this, that knowing how to set these cars up means a lot, too. And, you know, if you take somebody like me, I don't even have the first clue how to set up any of these cars. And I think that really means a lot.
It means, you can't explain how much it means. I am one of the worst people when it comes to setting these two up as well. I'm always constantly asking people to share setups, but it is so key.
Yeah, now I know Dog, sometimes he'll make like a base setup for you guys to start out with, and then you can tweak on it on your own, but you know,
Hey, Rudy.
Hold on. Yeah.
Apparently, Fastbender had some incidents, so he figured he'd leave his car in the pits to repair, and it blew up while it was in the pits. So he's done for the day.
Oh, brother. Okay, thank you. Dog said Fosbender's car blew up while it was in the pits.
Lapdog just ran out of gas.
That while he was waiting on repairs, the engine was still running and it would have overheated and gone bang.
Oh my. I've never heard of that, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you sit there long enough, it will, yeah.
I've seen it happen before. I think it happened to one of the league members in one of the 5-hour races we run. Went away to repair, came back and it was smoking pretty bad.
Oh man.
Can't say this race has been boring. We've certainly had everything in the mix.
Yeah. Lapdog now on pit road. And then I believe this, well, no doubt this will be his final pit stop here. We got 1 hour remaining in the race. And it's been a great race. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of good battles going on all around the track. And this has been a great race. This has been one of the most exciting ones that I've seen in a while.
Certainly had it all. Getting back to Lapdog, I wouldn't be surprised if he's running a low fuel map on that car. I think you've got 8 or 9 settings when it comes to fuel map. He's probably got it cranked right down to save as much fuel as he can.
Very cool, very cool.
That, and it takes power away from the engine and it makes it much easier to manage through the twisty section of the track.
See, I don't know all these little things about these cars, and I'm really glad you're in here with me, Lewis, explaining some of these things to me, because you have taught me a ton just in the last 10, 15 minutes you've been in here. Thank you.
Well, it's almost been more enjoyable than being out on the track at the moment. it's certainly more enjoyable than sitting in the pits and waiting for repairs.
Oh, yeah. Well, repairs they wouldn't give you.
Exactly, non-existent repairs.
Yeah. That's just the strangest thing that I've ever heard of. It's really strange.
Yeah, I was tempted to try and crawl around with it, crabbing to try and get 2 laps back on Marcus to pick up the spot, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. All right, Lapdog coming up on Jimmy Eifling now to put Jimmy a lap down. Now let's just see how tight this course is right here. Watching these guys here, Lapdog coming up on Jimmy Eifling, and you don't see him making any attempts right now to try to get by Jimmy because he knows how tight it is in this inner part of the racetrack.
Yeah, it's a bit of a driver's agreement, really.
Right. Once they get out onto the open racetrack is where they make their passes. And, you know, I got to give these guys a lot of respect for that. That means, I mean, they've just wowed me with the respect that they've just showed right there. That's amazing. You don't see that very often in a lot of leagues.
Yeah, of course you will see some overtake attempts through the infield when the F1 cars are just being held up, but everyone's pretty much waiting until they get onto the oval section of the track.
Yeah, because you can't really expect the driver that you're trying to pass to take it off the track and get an off-track incident. You know, you really can't expect the driver to do that.
Of course, it's a very important part of this league is the safety aspect. We have our own safety license, whatever you want to call them, very similar to the stock iRacing system. And I know a lot of people out here are just there to try and get as high a license class as they can. They almost don't care about what they come.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, Lewis, you have taught me so much just in the last few minutes that you've been in here, man. I'm telling you. You know, things that I didn't even know. I was like, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and you've taught me things that I didn't even know about iRacing and some of these cars. A lot of these cars I really haven't had that much experience with. You know, I mainly run like the trucks, the Gen 6, the B car, and the super late models. You know, those are my kind of like basics that I run, you know. And I don't know if you've had experience in very many of those other mods or not.
I have very little experience with the oval cars. I'm very much a road course driver, but we would like to point out what it means to us that you can do these broadcasts, Rudy. I mean, it's not easy for you. These are tracks that you have very little understanding of, and these cars are very different to what you're used to.
But I've learned a lot, you know, just broadcasting for Dog here. I have learned more about these road courses than I've ever known. Just in the last couple of months that I've been broadcasting his races, you know, he's even told me how much the broadcasts have improved since I first started doing them because of my learning, you know, about the cars and the tracks and things like that. And of course, he makes all of our own camera packs. So each track has its own camera pack, and I think that is so amazing. You know, that he actually makes his own car packs and own track packs.
He puts a lot of effort and time in behind the scenes.
Yes. Yes. Probably a lot more than you and I know.
Of course, I'm home most of the day at the moment, and of course I'm... Oh, one moment.
All right, Lapdog still in second. Mark Hewitt in third. Still running third overall, top of his class in the Twitch BMW, doing a super job out there. And Robbie Morrison still fourth in the Cadillac, top of his class in the Caddy division.
Don't mind me, I forgot what I was talking about.
And now it looks like we've got a brand new Darren Kewen still running fifth overall in the BMW, second in his class to Mark Hewitt. And Dog sixth overall in the Cadillac, second in his class. And taking up the rear of the field at the moment, Jimmy Eifling out here in the rough, the only rough left in the race. So naturally, top of his class. And he is doing great out here with a car. He's ran out of gas once, maybe twice. I'm not sure. No, once. Once he ran out of gas. And had to tow. That's heartbreaking.
It's very upsetting when you hear the car go cough, 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 and you know, uh-oh, I've made a bit of a mistake here.
Yep, definitely.
I'm watching Crusher's car go around, and it is a real mess. I can see fenders are off the front. There's dents in the left and right side. I can see the left rear tires exposed. He's got a bent wing. That thing must be a handful to drive.
Oh, I'll bet you. Yeah, I'm watching him now, and I didn't even realize he was back out on the track. But you know, he could pick up a couple more positions. He's already picked up one just being out there in the last couple of laps.
Certainly, he's ahead of me. That's who he's just picked up the spot on. Marcus is next. Marcus is out of the race as well, so Crusher will go into 9th position on the road.
Right, yeah, once he crosses the line here, he'll be in 9th. And then he can actually get by Kevin Smith in about another 4 or 5 laps here, and he'll pick up an 8th position overall. But he's still running good out here, 3rd in his class in the BMWs with that thing is just a hunk of junk driving out there on the track right now.
Yeah, it's good to see that he's actually out here and getting some decent laps down. I think he's had a lot of connection issues and whatnot, and he's appeared up for the first 10 or 12 laps of a lot of our races this season, but hasn't been able to go on.
That thing
so it's good to see him out here.
Almost looks like a modified from the front. Both wheels exposed.
This is something you can teach me about, probably. I have no idea what a modified looks like.
Well, they're basically like a mini, I don't know, I'm for lack of a better way of putting it, like a mini Indy car, okay, where they're all open wheel, but they're a really kind of a miniaturized Indy car, not quite as low to the ground. They're more for short tracks than an Indy car is, and well, they got, you know, the SK Modified's got a little less than the other modified, the Tour Modified. Tour Modified it's got a lot more horsepower. So, but they're a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, I know the ones. I'm looking at our rotation for the league, and it looks like the Tour Modified's one of the cars that could be getting rotated in sometime in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Well, they ran a modified here a few weeks ago. Modified in one of the races. And actually didn't do too bad on a road course. You know, they're not a road course car, you know, but the guys actually, I guess they wanted to drive it, and there was a couple of people that did drive it, and they had a good time in it. It's a handful.
Well, it definitely is. The rotation system that Dog uses for the league is that the two least most popular cars will be replaced at the end of every weekend with 2 new cars and it's all done in rotation, so all the cars on the iRacing system get rotated through.
Yeah. Well, we've lost a few of the viewers, but we've still got a couple hanging in there. Black Honor. I don't even know if Lima Racer 1 and Swarley. Glad you guys could stick around with us there. I'm sure we've got some people in Twitch chat here that they don't want to be seen, so that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. They don't want to be seen. That's fine. All right, so Crusher should be coming up on Kevin Smith here in the next couple of laps and pick up that 8th position overall.
And he, of course, is going round the outside here. No, he's not. But yes, very good performance by Crusher out there today.
Yes. Yeah, with a car junked up like that, man, he is doing super. Darren Kewen is the one that I've been watching, and I'm telling you what. What?
Crushes round.
Oh no.
Nope, he's got it going again. Very easy to do coming out of that chicane. If you get on the gas too early, it'll light the rears up and round you go. That's what I did. That's why I'm here talking to you.
Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, right there's where he went around. Yeah. Okay.
It's incredibly easy to do down there, both on entry and exit.
Yeah, you know, and he's driving a car that's probably not the easiest to handle right now anyhow, so...
Yeah, his performance reminds me of Jeffrey Belch's performance back at Barber Motorsports Park with round 1, week 1 of this season. Of course, Jeffrey had something go wrong with his hardware and he speared into the wall and then drove around consistently to bring it home either 4th or 5th with a completely mangled car.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. That was an amazing piece of driving there. I don't know how he managed to hang on to that for as long as he did and drive as well as he did. That was amazing.
Well, I will say Crush is doing a good job of replicating that at the moment. He's running around relatively consistently. That car does have a lot of damage and I notice he's well off the pace, but he's out there and getting some laps back.
Alright, Robbie Morrison here with our leader right behind him, Kevin Binkley. And let's see how this pass is going to take place. These guys wait until they get, well, pretty much out of the road course part of it, but Binkley just could not wait any longer.
Yeah, there's really only 2 spots in the infield that you can get by. There's a brief straight, which is where Binkley went by, and there's also into turn 1, and that's about it.
Yeah, what I find it's amazing here, Lewis, is Kevin Binkley out there, the only one on the lead lap, 7 laps ahead of second place Lapdog.
That is an amazing performance.
I'm telling you. He is...
It's typical Kevin Binkley, though. He's ever consistent, ever fast. No one can touch him most of the time.
He has led all 85 laps that he has turned here today. Every lap that's been turned by every driver out here, he has led them all.
And I bet you he's pretty low on incident points as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Oh, he just almost got a loss of control right there. He just slipped up a little bit.
I saw him go around in my mirrors at one stage earlier on today, and I think that was probably my fault, actually. It's just so tight in that infield, and with those F1 cars really rushing up on the traffic, you can get a bit of a bottleneck if you've got one slow car, then one Formula 1 car arrives on the scene, then another arrives on the scene, and you end up with trouble.
Right. Yeah, dog.
Just letting you know I'm coming in for my last scheduled stop here next lap, so if there's any questions from the viewers, if there is any.
I haven't even got any viewers to even talk to me at all, period, today, so... And right now we're down to about 4 viewers. We were up to 11 there once, but I think the guys probably they're probably out maybe watching the Indy 500 or whatever, but I'm going to get on you to watch you come down pit road.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people doing the Indy 500 today, watching that, which is probably what's hurting viewership. I noticed Lewis is in there. Is he chatting with you as well?
Of course, I'm seeing different pictures as to what Rudy's seeing, but I'm scrolling through and Dog seems to be running pretty consistently in the Cadillac.
Yeah, Lewis
moving
is
aside for, looks like Darren Kewen.
Yeah, Lewis is in here helping me commentate.
Side, coming out of the oval.
Yeah, after his pit crew wouldn't repair him, I suggested maybe popping down here. That way it gives him something to do while still in the race.
Absolutely, and he is enjoying being in the booth with me, loving it, and he's doing a great job. He has taught me so much in the last 20 minutes, Dog, about things that I did not even know about some of these cars and about, road course racing.
I'm watching Lapdog coming up to put Robbie Morrison another lap down, waiting till he gets onto the oval to make the pass cleanly.
Lewis is good that way. He knows quite a bit about lots of these cars.
And he's going to go on the low side of Robbie Morrison for a nice clean pass.
Not sure what happened to Bert there, but it looks like he just disconnected.
Okay, we're right on Dog right now as he comes down pit road, stops in his pit stall for his
Of course,
final pit
Crusher is the
stop.
next one on Lapdog's list to go down a lap, still lapping with that heap of junk of a car.
Yeah, we'll get out there on Crusher here in just a minute. I'm covering Dog on his pit stop. Final pit stop of the day, and he's away.
Should be.
And let's catch up with Crusher. Up to the 8th position now as he does pass Kevin Smith.
And the popcorn maker's off again.
So 8 cars left out on the track, and wow. And we've got quite a mix of the field. Just 2 Formula One cars out front, and then we've got, let's see, let's go back through the field here. Whoop, 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 going the wrong way. Okay, Kevin Binkley out front in the Formula One car. Second place, Lapdog, 7 laps down to the leader, also in the Formula One. Third place, we've got top of his class. Okay, started 6th in the race today, running 3rd in the Twitch BMW, top of his class. Robbie Morrison, top of his class in the Cadillac, running 4th overall, started 9th today. Darren Kewen started 16th on the grid today, actually 15th because I wasn't in the race, running 5th overall, and he is running 2nd in his class to Mark Hewitt. Okay, running back here in 6th, Dog, 2nd in his class, 6th overall, started 13th on the field today. Jimmy Eifling started 12th. Here he is running 7th, and top of his class in the rough, the only driver out there running the rough at the moment because a few of the other guys got either wrecked out or crashed, couldn't get them fixed up. And I think we even had one that could not reconnect, so lost connection. All right, and Crusher back here running 8th, and he is running 3rd in his class. So, man, what a mix of cars in different positions around this track, Lewis.
Certainly, I'd say earlier on in the day, Dog was saying that his relative screen, it's a screen in the game that shows people how close the other cars are, is rather colourful. Of course, the different classes have a different colour on that relative screen, and he said it was very colourful.
Yep, and that's what I'm seeing on my driver's window here in IRTVO. Yeah, I've got the 2 blue ones on the top, which are the Formula One. Then I've got a beige colored one, which is Mark Hewitt. And then I've got a pink one, that's Robbie Morrison. Then a beige one with Darren Kewen, and then another pink one with a Dog. And then I got a white one with Jimmy Eifling, and then a beige one again with Crusher. So yeah, I got quite the colorful one here too.
It's a real mix out there.
And that's what sets this league apart from a lot of other leagues. You know that. Well, I don't need to tell you that. You know. It just
Definitely.
makes it. It is, you know, they're set apart from a lot of leagues just because of the mixed classes that they run out here, and great to see them run as good as they do, man. I'm telling you. One I've wanted to kind of keep an eye on here, Mark Hewitt running 3rd, and he is, let's see, he is actually still on the same lap as 4th place. I wanted to go back here real quick and check on, see how far it's 14 seconds, 14 seconds back to Robbie Morrison running in the 4th position. So Mark Hewitt could be in danger of getting passed up by Robbie Morrison there. Because Robbie has been just absolutely driving the wheels off that Cadillac today.
Well, it's definitely a battle we're going to have to keep our eyes on. It should be rather close. Of course, it'll all come down to what kind of pit strategy we're looking at, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'm not really positive, but I would have to say probably most of these guys have been on pit road for the final time today already.
I'd say that's more than likely. I know those BMWs was a rough estimate, you get about an hour out of a tank of fuel, and it's very similar for the rough. Of course it varies from track to track, but that's a rough estimate.
Right.
Here you're probably using slightly more because of the long straights.
So we're still keeping an eye on that. Now it's 14.7 seconds ahead of Robbie Morrison. So Mark Hewitt could be safe. They got 38 minutes left in this race, so he keeps extending that lead out there. Now he's out to 15 seconds ahead of Robbie.
Well, the BMW is certainly the faster car of the two of them, and if it is like you say, Rudy, and there's no more stops required, he should comfortably manage to hold position.
Right, right.
But it was an impressive debut from Mark Hewitt. I mean, this is his first race with the league, and he's out there running consistently in the... Let me see, he is in third position, so he's actually the first of the cars that isn't one of the Formula 1 cars. That's a stellar performance.
Okay, let's go back. Third place, Mark Hewitt. Fourth place, Robbie Morrison. Fifth place, Darren Kewen in the BMW. Second in his class to Mark Hewitt. Dog
also
back here.
on the lead lap.
Pardon me?
Not on the lead lap, sorry. Of course, Darren Kewen also on the same lap as Robbie Morrison and Mark Hewitt, so if either of them make a mistake, there could be a position in it for him.
Right, that's exactly right, yes.
Seems like we've got a really good battle forming here for third, fourth and fifth positions.
Darren's quite a ways back, though. I wanted to kind of go up here a little bit and look. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Darren is 41 seconds behind Robbie, but again, like you said, Robbie could make a mistake, and Darren could close that gap up really quick. But the same as Mark Hewitt could make a mistake, and Robbie Morrison could capitalize on that too. So we could see a position change there, because it looks like Robbie Morrison does seem to have times where he's closing up on Mark Hewitt, and then other times he's pulling away. So Robbie Morrison's in the pit. Coming down pit road right now. Yes, he is.
So we might see Darren Kewen go into fourth position. I will add his car is the BMW as opposed to Robbie Morrison in the Cadillac, which is of course a faster car than the Cadillac, so there is a good opportunity that he will assume fourth position.
Well, two that I'm kind of looking to come on pit road yet before this thing is over is Mark Hewitt and Darren Kewen. I believe they've only been on pit road once each, so I'm kind of looking for them.
So unless they're running very low fuel maps with the pace that they're setting, I doubt it. I'd say they'll definitely have to pit, and there'll be a good chance that Robbie Morrison might slot up into a higher position again. It's going to be a real seesaw battle as they all make their individual stops, and we'll have to see how they all slot back onto the track.
Now Darren Kewen does move into the fourth place, but Robbie Morrison, just coming off the pit road, goes back into fifth, and he is 13.8 seconds behind Darren. So now I believe Darren may have to come down pit road one more time, though.
He should definitely have to come down pit road one more time with the economy of these cars.
Yeah, him and Mark Hewitt. I keep wanting to say another guy's name, but Mark Hewitt, I believe both of those guys will probably have to come down pit road once. Yeah. And we may see that here in the next couple laps. I don't know if I'd wait till closing of the race. I think I'd want to get it done as quickly as I could.
Well, with the amount of fuel that you can carry in those cars, I can tell you that they will be getting mighty close to needing to pit for fuel.
Yeah.
They'd have to be running some pretty low fuel maps in those cars to make it this far anyway, so it can't be long now.
Now, have you had much experience in the BMWs, Lewis?
I've run a lot of races in the BMWs. I really like it. It's a very stable platform, very easy to set up. It's one of those cars that you can just get into and go, really.
Yeah. Swarley commented there in Twitch chat. He says that he loves to watch these races when he can. The crazy combinations of the cars is fun to watch. Yeah, they are a lot of fun, Swarley, and I'm glad you could join us there. Hopefully you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's normally where I broadcast 6 nights a week. I broadcast up to YouTube. Now, I don't have a broadcast tonight. The league that I usually broadcast for is off tonight. But tomorrow night, I will have a broadcast. The Old Farts League runs tomorrow night. So I think they're running at Las Vegas with the trucks. So that should be very interesting.
I've tuned into a few of Rudy's other broadcasts as well, and I must say that they're most entertaining. It's very interesting to see what different leagues in the iRacing service get up to. It's a really versatile tool when it comes to all the different races you can create with iRacing.
Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of combinations that you can put up on these tracks. It's just amazing.
A good example being a new league that I've recently started up, in which we run both the Indy cars. Of course, the DW12 came out earlier this week, and I've set up a league to run both of those cars at the same time. So the combinations that you can do with iRacing are just phenomenal.
Alright, let's get up here to our leader. That's the thing of it, the leader don't get a whole lot of camera time. When he's out there stinking up the show, we don't give him a whole lot of camera time. So I think we owe it to Kevin. He has definitely deserved it today. Give him a little bit of camera time here, because he has drove his heart out.
I will say the reason we probably haven't spent so much time on him is he's so consistent, it's just boring.
Yeah.
Jimmy's in the pits.
And there's a lot of other good racing going on around the track. But I'm being informed Jimmy Eifling now coming down pit road, so let's check in with him. And this should be his final pit stop of the day too, and he's rolling off now.
That'll definitely be his final stop for the day.
Yes. Running the only one out there running the rough today.
Knowing Jimmy, he will not be in for any sort of repairs or drama. He's also one of those very consistent drivers.
Yes.
It's strange to see damage on the front corner of his car.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. Alright, Dog running in 6th. Robbie Morrison in 5th. And he's just doing a phenomenal job out there with that Cadillac, I'm telling you. But both of the Cadillacs running in the same class there together, but they are running 5th and 6th. Robbie Morrison, of course, leading that class.
And Crusher off the course again.
Oh no.
Looked like he spun just in front of Robbie Morrison. I'm just going to go back to him. He's now stopped on the circuit off one of the corners. He's just sitting there.
Yeah, let's go back and see if we can catch him on instant replay here.
Such a shame as well, because he'd been running so well.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Darren's going into the pits.
Yeah, he really spun hard right there.
Of course, I'm not seeing the same pictures as Rudy. Can you tell me if he got into the wall at all?
No, he didn't. He kept it off of the wall, so. But he's just still sitting there.
Yeah, he must have just had enough. It's very hard going around at the back of the field, having nothing but other cars overtaking you, and that car must be a real pain to drive as well, so I can't blame him.
Yeah, really. Dog's informing me somebody's coming down pit road. Darren Kewen now on pit road.
Well, like we called it, we knew that he'd have to come down pit road at least one more time. This will be his final stop. It'll probably be a splash and dash. He won't need much fuel for this. He's not even taking tyres, he's just fueling it up, and he will be off pit road very shortly.
And am I seeing a little bit of damage on that? No, take that back. I believe he
could just be a... I was saying, could just be a slight dent that you get from banging around on the track. It's very easy, it's hard to go a complete clean race.
I believe he did take front tires. The car jumped.
Just front tyres, interesting.
Yeah. And he is away, so alright, Darren Kewen away, and he's going to go back to the 5th position as Robbie Morrison did get by him. But one we still have not seen on pit road was Mark Hewitt. Why do I keep saying Mark Maffett? Doggone it. I got Mark Maffett on the brain, I guess. But
yes, I will say Rudy does a lot of broadcasts with a lot of different leagues. He's got a lot of names to remember.
Yeah. But Mark Hewitt still has not been on pit for here. I believe his final pit stop. But we're coming down to the 27-minute mark, and just as I say that, he's coming down pit road right now. Look at that, man! Did I call that or what? And
I will say that was a fine piece of commentary.
Let's see what he plans on doing on that car, whether he's going to take tires or what.
He's got a big enough margin. I'd take tyres. I think I might have seen a slight lift on the car. He's probably taking tyres.
Yeah, some of these cars, it's hard to tell when they do tire change because they just barely left them. Yeah, front tires.
Yep, there we go. So that would be front and rear because I saw the rear left at some stage as well.
Okay, I missed that part. All right, topping off that tank with Sunoco fuel, and he's going to be out of there in just a second. There he goes.
Of course, with the BMWs, you definitely want to change the front tyres. It pushes a lot through the corners, and especially on some of these higher speed tracks, going into turn 1 will absolutely destroy the tyres if you've got an understeering car.
Right. Well, Robbie Morrison now moves into the 4th position as he got by Darren Kewen when Darren come down pit road. So now everybody, I believe, has been on pit road for their final pit stop. Coming down to 8 drivers on the track, 26 minutes left to race, and we're seeing some pit strategies fall into play now, where these guys are trying to get their last pit stalls in without losing that position. They want to maintain that position, so great job by these guys.
And if I'm correct, that should be everyone done with their pit stops. We should be good to go to the end.
Yeah. Crusher back out running now. Yeah, Swarley, just in case you wanted to know, you can watch my broadcast right on my website at MaxSpeedTV.com. Each night when I do broadcasts, the schedule is there as well. You can see what time I do schedule. The races are scheduled to race. And I usually go live about 10 to 15 minutes before the race. That way I can kind of talk a little bit about the race. And so, but all right, Robbie Morrison doing a great job out here in that Cadillac. I am telling you what, he has marched up through that field. Now he's got a mirror full of second place Lapdog. Lapdog right behind him, coming up on him really quick.
As you do in those Formula 1 cars, there is a huge difference in speed.
Oh yeah.
Now he's going to have to be patient getting through the infield here. He'll be waiting for the straight as they come round the hairpin onto the first section of the oval. Robbie Morrison making a pass on Jimmy Eifling, and Lapdog is going with him on the low side. And Lapdog, of course, is going to go past Robbie Morrison into the chicane, which is coming up right about now. Oh, hang on, that's tight.
Oh, man, that was close. I don't know if somebody didn't see somebody there or what, but that was close.
These Formula One cars are very hard to see because they're low to the ground, they're very fast, and they're not awfully wide. So I'd say there's a good chance Robbie Morrison didn't see Lapdog coming up on him.
Okay, and he does complete the pass on him now, so phew, man, that had my heart racing right there because that was really close.
It's good to see that they saw each other at the end and they managed to get the pass happen cleanly.
Definitely.
I think that probably sums up this league right there.
Yeah.
That little bit of driving.
Yeah, this is, I gotta say, probably one of the cleanest leagues as far as respect out on the track that I've seen in a long time. That that they do communicate with each other and give way to each other. A lot of respect out on the track, and man, I'm telling you what, that's what it takes to have such a great league.
Well, like I said, we've got a very complicated system for the different licenses. I think the way it's structured is people that do a certain amount of incidents per lap get a certain rating, down and down and down, so you get to the point where there's people who are having too many incidents to be in the league, which I don't think anyone's ever been boosted. But for those who don't know the numbering system, the first number indicates what license the driver are. So, of course, I've got a number 2 on the side of my car, which indicates that I'm in the Pro category. A number 1 is Inhuman. If you don't have a number, you've only got a 2-digit number, then you're an alien driver. Alien being you're so tidy and neat and you're not having many incidents. It's almost like you're an alien.
Like Kevin Binkley.
Very much Kevin Binkley and Jimmy Eifling.
And Jimmy Eifling.
Well, he's got number 1 on the side of his car, and he certainly deserves it.
Yes.
Just watched our leader go past the Lapdog to put the whole field yet another lap down.
Man, he is just like on a rail today, ain't he?
Definitely. You see some of these grooves running down the track in the oval, and you almost think that's the rails he's running on.
Well, Darren Kewen running in the 5th spot here. Dog running in 6th, second in his class in the Cadillac, and he is doing an amazing job here, coming down to 20 minutes here before much longer. Oh, and I just caught him blinking a little there. He's still blinking a little. Jimmy Eifling.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know if Lapdog's one of them, but a lot of the guys do run their own streams, which they have running to Twitch and whatnot. I know Dog's one of them. You might be able to find them if you hunt around on Twitch, but that can quite often cause a few connection issues.
Actually, Dog broadcasts up to YouTube now. Oh, yeah, he'll
That's
broadcast.
Right, he does.
Yeah, he's like, his broadcast runs like 24/7.
Yeah, so if the viewers at home are interested in looking him up, you should be able to go onto YouTube and look up Little Guard Dog. It should come up with him. And you can follow him. I think he's got a webcam set up so you can see him as he's going along. It's quite a good watch if you want to see what it's like driving around here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can actually, here's what we could do is we could actually let's ride along with Dog right in the cockpit with him. How's that?
It's as close as you can get.
There we go. Riding right along with him in the cockpit as he's blinking. He's still blinking. Okay, maybe that's not a good one. Let's ride along with Darren.
That sounds good enough.
Yeah, ride along with him. Actually, I'll tell you, the one that would be really cool to ride along with would be Kevin Binkley up there, because I'll tell you what, he is driving this thing. He's out there in a whole nother zip code, you know, a whole nother time zone. He 9 laps ahead of second place lapdog.
For me, he is literally, of course, in another time zone. I thought I might point that out, but yes, he is miles in front. I don't know if he's still out and running, but another car that'd be a good idea to have a look at is Crusher and see where he's going. Maybe ride along with him, see if he's got any steering issues with that car.
Definitely, yes. Well, you know, his wheel's actually pretty straight, but that doesn't mean that he's having, you know, he's still having handling issues.
I'd say there's a lot of aero issues with that car. He seems to have quite a bit of push and understeer, which as a driver is one of the most annoying things you can experience.
Right.
You just want to put the power down, but the car won't turn.
Yeah, Crusher with a ton of damage on that car. Well, let's take a look from the front view of this car, and you can see, well, maybe not. That wasn't a very good idea, I guess. You can see a lot of damage on that car.
Well, I'm looking at the chase cam, and it looks like his brake lights have been pushed in on both sides. So he's got this big bulge of the boot, and then the whole rest of the car's wrapped around itself.
Alright, coming down to 17 minutes left in this race, so make sure you go top off your drink there, folks, and get ready, because we are going to get a chance to talk to each and every one of these drivers that are still in TeamSpeak. And Lewis, I cannot thank you enough for joining me here in TeamSpeak. It's been a great pleasure to have you in here talking, you know, helping me out with this broadcast. It's just it's something to kind of fill in the spots that I miss, you know, and again, like I said, I can't thank you enough for teaching me all the things that you've taught me today. This is amazing, and I appreciate it very, very much.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Of course, I'd much rather be out on the track, but I do have to say it's rather comfy up here in the booth.
Well, we do have the benefits here of air conditioning, and drinks. Drinks are right around behind you there in the fridge. You can just grab you a cold one, and all the pretty girls around us. Look at all the pretty girls around us. Wow, this is nice.
I'm one of those sad people that's more interested in the race cars. That's a real racer for you.
Yeah. But all right, so Crusher back here in 8th overall, and he is 3rd in his class there. He's got Mark Hewitt running 1st in his class, Darren Q in 2nd, and Crusher in 3rd. So these guys really doing a great job. Well, let's get up here, 7th place. Jimmy Eifling, only one left in his class out here in the rough, running 7th overall. Of course, top of his class. Dog running 2nd in his class to Robbie Morrison, but running 6th overall. And Darren Kewen up here in 5th in the BMW. And Darren running 2nd in his class to Mark Hewitt, doing a great job out here. And I don't see any, maybe a slight little wrinkle on the rear spoiler, but other than that, I don't see any damage on that car.
I will say a slight wrinkle on the rear spoiler can really upset the handling of these cars. It's probably the most sensitive part of the car is the rear spoiler. The moment something's wrong there, it sends your whole aero wacko.
Well, it could have been just the camera angle, because now I'm looking at it from a different camera angle, and I don't see any damage on the rear spoiler. So,
yeah. Of course, I'm getting very different pictures to Rudy. I can't tune into the same pictures that he's getting.
And Robbie Morrison in that Cadillac, man, I am telling you, there's another good driver right out there. Each and every week he runs really, really well. And it seems like it doesn't matter which mod he's running in either, you know, which car. He just runs really well.
He's certainly a very good addition to the league. He's always out here running very smooth and consistent. and I will say he does have a lot of pace. We haven't really seen him in one of the front running cars yet, but when he gets the chance, I'll expect him to be right up there fighting for the lead.
Well, he is top of his class right now in the Cadillac as he's beating Dog. Actually beating him by about 5 laps. He's about 5 laps ahead of Dog, so, but he's doing good.
Here's an idea. I might just go through the different classes so we can see where exactly everyone's at. In the Williams class, of course, Kevin Binkley is miles out in front with Lapdog, the only car still running behind him, and he is 9 laps down. Of course, both Marcus Kramer and myself are out. We're 64 and 66 laps down, respectively. Moving on to the Ford Fusion, of course, Layla Wilson not out there at the moment, but she was the only car running that. She was the only person running that class. She is 83 laps down. With the rough track, of course, Jimmy Eifling, the only one still out running that car. He's 26 laps down off the leader. Kevin Smith was out there earlier on. He is now 60 laps down. BMW definitely the most populated class today, with Mark Hewitt leading that one, 17 laps down. Darren Kuhn not that far behind, 18 laps down. Crusher, of course, battling a demolished car. He is 40 laps down in 3rd position of that class. And then, of course, Brian Herring had some kind of drama earlier on. I don't really see what it was. He's 84 laps down. Bert Behrens, I think, had to leave. He's 85 down. And Fassbender, he did his best, but he had a few issues, and he's 97 laps down. And, of course, last class, the Cadillac, Robbie Morrison it's astounding performance. He's 18 laps down. And Dog in the 2nd position in that class, who is 23 laps down.
Very good, thank you, Lewis.
I like this commentary job.
Yeah. Now you see why I like it.
Oh, well, if ever you want a hand with one of your other broadcasts, I've got a lot of spare time on my hands at the moment.
Well, I may be looking you up. How much do you know about oval racing?
Very little. Maybe you can teach me something for once.
Well, there you go, yeah.
All I know is they turn left and go really fast.
Yep. Well, it can be quite intense because the cars are actually, they race a lot closer. You know, they're not so spread out around a 2.5, 3 mile track. You know, they're a lot closer, and it gets pretty intense.
When I get the chance, of course, I tune into iRacing's top NASCAR division. Occasionally they have their live streams that I occasionally tune into, but I have very little understanding of what's going on.
Lapdog sitting on pit road. I don't know what happened to him, but he's just sitting down here at the end of pit road.
I'd say it's more than likely a last-minute splash and dash. The Formula 1 car's got some really, like I said earlier on in the broadcast, some really bizarre little things to do with its fueling, and the fact that if you have the suspension too low to the ground, you can't actually put a full tank of fuel in because it won't let you run the setup.
Now he's got quite a lengthy pit stop going on here.
I can't see any obvious damage.
Yeah. Now.
He's up on the jacks now.
Yeah. Just a note though, 10 minutes left in this race, and he really is not going to gain. I don't believe he'll even lose a position, even if he just sat there the rest of the race. Because 3rd place Mark Hewitt is about 8 laps behind him.
I will say though, if you've got a car that's in one piece, it's highly unlikely that he'll stay on pit road. Everyone likes to be out there on the track, even if you're just driving by yourself. Today's been quite enjoyable for the drivers, of course, because they're weaving in and out of traffic constantly, so it's never boring.
Right. Now, I was talking to Dog earlier, and we were talking about maybe a little bit of the weather out there today could have played a factor in, it may be a little different than what everybody practiced. And that could have a major effect on how the cars perform today versus how the practice went.
Yes, of course I didn't enter the 5-hour race earlier on, but I'm told that the track was quite cool and the cars were very grippy. Weather now it seems to be a bit slicker. The weather's reading on iRacing is 24 degrees with a northerly wind coming at about 8 kilometers an hour, and the humidity's at 58, so I would say it's quite slick out there at the moment.
Well, Kevin Binkley out front here. 8.5 minutes left in this race. He has led 117 laps today. That's I'm telling you what, that guy is going to probably break every record that you guys could ever set. he just continuously dominates out here.
Well, the weather certainly isn't affecting him, we'll put it that way.
Yeah. If it is, maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him at the end of the race here, and if it is, he'll let us know. And he's coming up on Robbie Morrison here pretty quick. And
Hot dog's in the pit.
Let's hope Robbie sees him. Not that he needs to, because of course Kevin has gone streaming around the outside at some knots, coming down into this chicane. It'll just... There we go. Very clean on exit through there. It's a very hard chicane to maneuver through, especially with the Formula 1 car.
Yeah, hey Dog, Lapdog's been on pit road for quite some time now. I don't know what the deal is there, but he may be, I think he's coming off pit road now. I'm talking to him on Whisper.
I just noticed him. Oops. Yeah, I think it was a bio break.
Of course, I'm seeing live pictures, Rudy. If you want to maybe ride on board with one of these drivers, I might be able to give a bit of commentary going around the course and explain some of its little
who do you want?
Pieces.
Who do you want to ride on board with?
Let's go with our leader, Kevin Binkley.
Okay, I'm on board with him. Let me go get down to the cockpit view, and you go right ahead.
So here we go. He's on the oval. Coming down here at quite some speed. He'll get very close to 300 kilometers an hour coming down to the chicane as he goes by Crusher. Braking, it's surprising how late you brake there. The car gets very loose on entry and on exit. You can see him using opposite lock, and he comes onto the second part of the oval. Interesting fact about this track is that with the international course which you're running here, you actually go the wrong way in comparison to which way you'd be going with the oval. It's a very long pit straight coming down here. Once again getting up to 300, 320 kilometers an hour for a very fast sweeping right-hander to the first bend. Very bumpy, very tight as you come through here. Of course you can see how tight the track is. He's going to have a hard job getting by Darren Kuhn, I think it is. Car likes to get very loose around here. And he's going inside. Very bumpy, very bumpy. You've got a little bit of a straight here. It's one of the few places where you can get by traffic. Into another tight left-hander. And you another short little straight, very easy to get loose there. Into a very tight right-handed hairpin. And we're back onto this section of the oval, which is going to head back down to that chicane. That's a lap of Pocono International.
Very cool. Thank you, Lewis.
No problem.
That's an interesting perspective, riding on board with Binkley here, knowing he's as fast as he is, and how he can handle and maneuver and pass these cars, and the difference between the oval part of the track and the road course part of the track is like, the driving is like between day and night,
Oh, hang on, what's going on here?
Uh-oh.
Binkley seems to have stopped. Could he be out of fuel? No, he's got it going again.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he bumped his pit limiter or an ignition or something like that, but he's up and going again. He's coasting around slowly.
Is he out of fuel? No.
Maybe he thinks he's already won it and he's going to go and park it.
Well,
he could if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could if he wanted to, yep.
No, he seems to be back underway at slightly reduced pace, but he's definitely still going. He's short shifting. I reckon we've got a fuel problem here.
Could be. We may see him come down pit road.
We'll keep an eye on him. Oh, car's completely stopped again. I've got no engine noise.
or very little.
He's got it fired back up again.
He's got to be either running out of fuel or he is just kind of taking it easy right now. We may see him
let's
come
see.
down.
He's coming around the oval. See if he comes on down pit road. He's continuing on, so whatever it is, it mustn't be a big issue.
Yeah. He's coasting again. Well, he may be just taking it easy. He's, out there 14 laps ahead of second place. He's really got nothing to worry about, and he might be trying to pace it out enough to where, he'll only have to run X amount of more laps or something here without having to worry about getting too many laps ahead. He is really taking it.
I'll see if I can find out.
Really taking it easy right now. We'll stay on him. 3 minutes left in this race, and he may be pacing it to where he's only got to do about one more lap. Not driving at full speed, or I've
just got in contact with Kevin Binkley using the voice chat system in game, and he said that he doesn't feel like pitting again. Those were his words.
Ah, okay.
So it's a fuel conservation strategy.
Well, there you go. Well, not bad. Being out there 14, I mean, he wouldn't even have. He could pull it in pits and park right now, and he's got the race won.
Definitely got the race run. He's just got to make sure that he can run it to the end without banging into anything, which, knowing him, is very easy indeed.
Yeah, we may be only looking at about one more lap here. Well, probably two, because he comes around, he'll probably take the white flag, and so we may be looking at one more lap after this one, but we're going to stay right on Kevin Binkley as we got the ticker running up there. You can see where everybody is running right now. Lapdog in second, also in the F1. Mark Hewitt up there in the BMW, running third. Robbie Morrison in the Cadillac, running fourth. Darren Kewen in the BMW, running fifth. Dog in the Cadillac, running sixth. Jimmy Eifling in the Rough, the only one left out there running right now, running seventh. And Crusher running eighth in the BMW.
Can hear Kevin Binkley still continuing to short shift and coast around the track.
Alright, so he should get the white flag here, not right now, but probably on this lap he will get the white flag, and that will be the end of the race, and it looks like Kevin Binkley going to bring it home to the win for sure here today. And I am really excited about talking to him about this because, he has just dominated this race today.
Indeed he has. He's been ultra consistent. He's only had one or two minor little moments. It's quick speed as well. He'd be up there for the fastest laps of the race. Kevin Binkley's the kind of person that can put in faster lap times than everyone else and do it every single lap.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching his speed as well. Coming into the chicane, he got up to a whopping 305 kilometers an hour. That's about 185 miles an hour.
Okay, he did get the white flag, so right here he should get the checkered flag when he comes to the line.
Here he comes.
And there it is. He does win it here today. Congratulations to Kevin Binkley here at Pocono International Course. Great job of him on a great race, man. That was an amazing race to watch.
What a performance. I mean, he didn't put a single foot wrong.
Man, that was great. Well, we'll give him a few minutes for the drivers to congratulate him, and we will get down there and talk to him. But in the meantime, let's go down through the results here real quick and tell you where everybody finished. Kevin Binkley, of course, our winner in the F1. Lapdog in second, 13 laps down in the F1 too. So they finish respectively first and second.
Very good finish by Lapdog. He said at the start of the race that he wanted to go out there and be consistent because he didn't have the speed to run with everyone else, and look at him, he's landed him second out of 4 cars in his class.
Absolutely. Mark Hewitt in third, running the BMW today. Top of his class, will bring home a win for that. Robbie Morrison, top of his class in the Cadillac, finishing 4th overall. Great run by him. In 5th, Darren Kewen in the BMW, finishing 2nd in his class. Dog finishing 6th overall and 2nd in his class to Robbie Morrison in the Cadillacs. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say what a tight finish we had between 3rd, 4th and 5th, you know?
Yeah.
All
absolutely.
within the space of a lap and a half. That's over a 2.5 hour distance. That's really something.
Yeah. Jimmy Eifling finishing the race there with the rough, coming in 7th overall, but top of his. That's a great run for him. Crusher and finishing up the race here in 8th spot overall, 3rd in his class in the BMW. Staying out there with that car was just totally demolished. And we will go down the rest of the results here in a little bit, but we've got some other winners too. Layla Wilson there with the Gen 6, the only one out there on the track in the Gen 6, finishing way back in the field, but good finish by her. Well, Lewis, let's get up there in the channel with them guys, and well, let me let Dog know I'm coming.
Alrighty. Do you want me to tag along?
Yeah, sure, definitely. All right. Here we are. Let's see. We've got Kevin Binkley. Is he even in TeamSpeak?
No, he isn't. He has a whole bunch of company at his house, so he hasn't been on TeamSpeak today.
Oh, you're kidding me. We can't interview Kevin? Ah. Well, congratulations to Kevin anyhow for winning Lapdog. Do we have Lapdog in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, great job out there, Lapdog. I'm getting a lot of reverb off of you. Congratulations on your second place today there, Lapdog. Tell us about your racing.
Well, I knew at the beginning that I really had no chance against those 3 guys other than to keep it clean, so that's what I tried to do. And when Marcus went out, I had 0 incidents, but I picked up 6 after that. But was able to keep it out of the wall, unlike last night.
Well, it looked like a pretty fantastic race for you out there today, Lapdog. I mean, you finished, believe, about 13 laps down behind Kevin Binkley. It just seemed like nobody had anything for Kevin Binkley there after about maybe a quarter of the way through the race. He just set sail and marched ahead of everybody. But, you know, congratulations to him on his win, but congratulations to you coming home 2nd spot in the F1 combination today. Great job.
Thank you much.
And you got anybody you want to say hello to or give a thank you out to?
I want to give a thank you to all the slower cars who were patient with me, and apologize to anybody if I caused anyone difficulty.
All right. Well, great. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just before we leave you there, Lapdog, track conditions, what was it like out there today?
It wasn't bad, maybe a little slipperier than yesterday, but it was pretty close. I just took it quite a bit easier than I did last night, so.
It's just we were watching it a lot we were talking about it a lot in the broadcast, and it was a question we were going to put to Kevin Binkley being out front, but you being second, we thought we'd ask you.
Yeah, I'm much slower than Kevin.
Alrighty, ready to move on to the next one, ready?
Yes, sir. Let's see. We got some other guys coming in here. You know, I know we're kind of going backwards here a little bit, but well, I'll tell you what. Let's get with Mark Hewitt, because Mark You know, you were out there in that BMW today, and I'll tell you what, you just drove your heart out in that BMW. How did it feel out there, bringing home top of your class and finishing third overall today?
Hi Rudy, nice to speak to you. Yeah, very good race, but robbed of a bit of real racing by a few coming together, other drivers. I think it was Brian in front of me. We kept together, and he was about 10 seconds ahead of me for a good while, but I think he had it coming together, which robbed us of any real racing. But no, love the track. Thank the organisers for including this track, because I wouldn't have known it existed. I've driven it with the IndyCar, but never the road course, so it was a good opportunity to race it.
Well, you know, it was coming down to you and Robbie Morrison going to wind up having a decent battle coming, you know, to the end of this. You both were on the same lap, and it looked like for a while there you were pretty close together, and then you kind of separated a little bit, and then he was trying to reel you in. But it looked like a blast out there, you know, watching you two kind of mix it up a little bit for a while. But great racing out there. And how much did the weather have change your car out there? You know, because I've heard several different reports from a few of the drivers that was a little bit different driving today than it was last night. So how did your car feel on that?
Yeah, nothing really to compare it against. My first, I shouldn't really say this, but first experience was this morning. I'm a few hours ahead of you guys there, but gave it a bash this morning and had a feel of the track. But so I haven't got really anything to compare it against. But had a few problems. Turn one, could never finalise on the correct braking point for turn one, but it was all good fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for talking with us there, Mark. And again, congratulations on such a great run out there in the BMW. And anybody else you want to give a thank you out to?
Oh, just for the chaps that organise it, for letting me in, and just a shameless plug of my Twitch and YouTube channel, Wheel Damage. If you guys are into NASCAR, Skip Barber, or the BMW in the GT3 challenge, there's a lot of videos there that await you.
All right. Thanks for talking with us, buddy. Lewis, you got anything for Mark you wanted to talk to him about?
I was going to go on about his Twitch channel. I'll definitely be checking it out. I'd say you did it was a very good, clean race out front there. Something you should be proud of.
Thanks a lot, Lewis. Much appreciated.
Okay.
Shame I couldn't be out there with you.
Yeah, really. Okay, well, let's move on to Robbie here. Robbie, will you come home top of your class in the Cadillac today? You just dominated in that car. You marched up through the field by quite a few cars. How did the Cadillac run for you out there today?
The car ran great today. I really don't have anything to compare it to throughout the week. I only had about one practice session. In my opinion, this is a great track for this car because it has such a top-end speed opposed to the rough in the BMW, so that when you do get close to them, you have the chance to overtake them on the big track rather than in the infield.
Right. Probably comparing the Cadillac to the rough or the BMW, like you said, having a little bit more top-end speed, but the BMW handles so much better in the inner part of the course that that's probably where you lose the time that you make up on the oval part, correct?
Yeah, I was watching Mark in my relative screen for a while there, and I seen once I got out on the oval part of the track, I would reel him in, but as soon as I got back to the infield, the time gained was time lost once we got through the infield.
Right. Well, absolutely great race by you out there, and I mean, it was just amazing to watch you guys putting on such a great show out there for the viewers and all. But congratulations again, Robbie, coming home top spot in the Cadillac. Great race, buddy. You got anybody you want to give a thank you out to?
I just want to thank Michelle for having this league. It's a fun league. It brings in a lot of very good drivers, a lot of clean racing, and a lot of respect throughout the league, and makes it a lot more fun.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. That it's I've commented on that throughout the whole race today. That how much the different car combination compared to the track combination, that you guys throw out there, and each and every week it's something different, and it gives you a different opportunity to try different car on a certain track, and you can pick and choose what you want, which is really cool. And the respect that each and every driver gives each other out on the track, it's amazing. We've seen so much of it today, and throughout the inner part of the course there, the road course part of it, that the guys would actually give room, or they would wait to pass until they got out onto the oval part of the track. So definitely my double thumbs up to all you drivers for the respect that you give out there each and every week to each other. So great job. So all right, well, let's move on here. We've got who do we miss here? Dog, I guess we need to talk to you next here. We didn't get, is Darren? Yeah, Darren's in here. Okay, well, we'll talk to him in just a minute. But Dog, tell us about your race.
You can get Darren. I'm here for the long haul anyway, so you can get some of the other guys first before.
Okay. Darren, you come home second in your class to Mark Hewitt today, 5th overall. Tell us about your racing out there, and how compared to, did you run last night? And if you did, how does it compare to today?
No, Rudy, I didn't run last night. Had
Okay.
other commitments, but the track was a little bit greasy at first. But this is the first time for me racing Pocono road this week in the practices. Got into a few of them. Tried the rough and settled on the BMW. But the racing out there was great with the mix of cars, and communication is key. Just great communication, warning, and letting people know where you're going to be, especially with the F1 cars out there. And just a great race overall. I tried to push it a little in the beginning. I'm not one of the faster guys, and I got my first off track, so I just settled back and tried to be consistent and made sure I made the end of the race, which is the main goal with as few incidents as possible.
Roger that. Well, I couldn't agree with you more about that communication thing. That is, I think, the most important thing out there. Letting the other drivers know your intentions, or telling them that you slipped or something, and so they know when they come around a corner, they know that you're trying to get back up on the track, or whatever the case may be. And I couldn't agree more with you, though. That's definitely excuse me. Communication has got to be the most important thing out there on a racetrack. So, but anyhow, Lewis, you got anything for Darren?
Oh yes, one quick thing, Darren. With the track, it's a very bumpy track here at Pocono, and I know the BMW is quite soft. Were the bumps a problem at all for you?
No, actually, it runs really smooth. Like if you run the rough, I really noticed it bouncing in areas. But the BMW, you just got to be careful of the berms, and it's a very, very smooth car. Didn't feel very many bumps at all.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Darren.
Well, that's really a good thing to know. That's a good thing to throw out there for a lot of the other drivers to know that the BMWs do take the bumps a lot easier. But well, thank you, Darren, for talking with us. And you got anybody you want to say hello to, or give a thank you to?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the racers that participated today, especially our new members there. Really did a great job, and congrats on Mark again, doing really well on this track, just picking it up this morning. And just a thank you to MaxSpeedTV for the broadcast, and also Michelle, of course, always doing a good job organizing things, but just his help in the background too, not just with racing, but really a lot of help with technical stuff and computer stuff. Real wealth of knowledge, and will spend all the time you want helping you out. So just great thank you to him as well.
Okay, thank you, Darren, and great job today, man. Coming home second to Mark Maffett there in your class, 5th overall. Great job. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Lewis, before we get the dog, I kind of wanted to talk with you because, you started out with such a great run there, and you were running the F1 today. How did the F1 feel to you before all that stuff happened to you?
I will say it's a very tricky car to drive around here. You need a lot of patience. It's probably one of the worst cars over the bumps. That's why I bring it up in conversation, is that the bumps were really affecting me in that car. You have to be really patient with when you can get on the gas, that it doesn't step out on you. Apart from that, it's got a lot of grip. It's one of those cars which the harder you drive it, the faster you will go. It's very hard to reach the limit.
Right. Well, for those of that may be just joining us there on Twitch, a few of the guys that come in late or something did not know. Lewis had trouble with he had a little damage, stopped in pits, and it didn't show any damage for them to fix, and he obviously had damage, and he went out and plowed it into the wall and thought, okay, it's sure enough going to fix it now, and he went back in, and it still wouldn't fix it. So kind of a glitch in iRacing there that it did not fix Lewis's car up, so he just called it a day, joined me in the booth, and I thank him very, very, very much for helping me out in the booth, and I think he enjoyed it too, didn't you, Lewis?
Certainly did. I've already offered Rudy if he wants me to come and give him a hand with some of his other broadcasts. That's how much I've enjoyed it.
Well, that's great, because I could use you, buddy. You could use you. And you did a great job, and thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Okay, anybody you want to give a thank you out to, Lewis? Besides me. You don't need to thank me.
I was just about to say first person I want to say thank you to, but no, we really need to thank, of course, everyone for turning up and making this league happen. It doesn't happen without the members. And of course, it definitely doesn't happen without Michelle. The amount of effort that he puts in is astounding. Every week, it's pretty much a full-time job for him. He'll be sitting down at the computer, fiddling away with spreadsheets or setups. You wouldn't believe how much effort he puts in.
Oh, I know. He's always doing something. So, all right. Well, Lewis, thank you, and thank you for helping out. Thank you for helping me in the booth to commentate the tail end of this race here, and it was really a great race, and sorry you got wrecked out there and couldn't get that damage fixed, but appreciate your help, buddy. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, Dog, last but least, not least.
Well, it's the same place I generally end up in, at least in my class, or sometimes overall in the race, so it makes sense that I'd be at the last of the tail. The interviews too. No, I don't mind being last. I come out for the racing. I come out for the camaraderie more so than actually coming in first or anything like that. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. I just come out to race with other people, like-minded individuals that look for safe, clean races.
Right.
Great racing out there. We had a fairly large field to start off with, and with the varying range of different performances of the vehicles, like the Roughs, the Williams, and everything else. There's so many differences on there. The respect from all the other drivers was a very big help for how the race ended up. There was some altercations. There was some weird issues with iRacing. Like one guy, his vehicle blew up in the pits while he was getting repairs. A couple other ones, they had damage that it wouldn't repair. So a couple glitches there that made a few people drop out because they just couldn't drive safely, which is unfortunate. But otherwise, for those that managed to stick through to the end, it was nice, clean racing all the way through, and I got to commend everybody that was in there. Definitely a good shout out to the two new guys, Mark Hewitt and I forgot, Mr. Fassbender. Our two new rookies into the league here. It was their first event for both of them, and they did a very good show for each of them. Mark Hewitt there, otherwise known as Wheel Damage on both YouTube and Twitch. Very big shout out to him, because the more viewers we get through any means more knowledge of the league, which only means more people. So it's a great help every way you can. Definitely thanks to you for doing the broadcast, Lewis for popping in and helping you out after he couldn't race anymore, and just it was a great event. It was nice to have everybody out there.
Absolutely. All right, Dog. Well, congratulations coming home second in your class in the Cadillac, and it looked like you did really good out there. I was watching you several times, and you just had a great race. It seems like you have come so far since I've started broadcasting for you. You've really picked up. I don't know if it's maybe the mixture of the drivers that you're racing with could be making you perform better. But I don't know, whatever the deal is, your performances have come a long ways just in the last couple months.
Well, yeah, I'll agree. Having more people to race against that have the same kind of mentality, and everybody's trying to help each other out with setups. Like, all throughout the week, we have both a Dropbox and we have a file browser in our TeamSpeak server that people are sharing setups with each other. Even in practice sessions, somebody will notice that somebody else is having some issues, and without even being asked, they'll say, hey, do you want to try this setup? Hey, do you want to try this? So everybody's helping everybody else out. And that only makes the racing for everybody else better, because you may not know one person may not know how to do setups and are having difficulty. Somebody else may be really good at setups but just can't get it to work, but their setup works for the other person and vice versa. So it's mostly down to everybody's helping each other, and it just builds a better, closer-knit family type thing. And everybody else, like, if you have a setup that you're confident in and feel like you can race with, you don't have to worry about going off track or anything else, and it just helps improve your race altogether. Having people that respect each other on the track also helps. There's lots of communication. Like, if you had a chance to sit in the TeamSpeak for any amount of time during the race, it's non-stop all the way through the race of people saying, gonna pass you on this side, I'm gonna go this side, coming up on you here. Like, throughout the entire race, communication is going on full speed, both in the TeamSpeak and even in the sim as well. So it helps keep a lot of altercations out of the way. Makes for a better race for everybody in general, I believe.
Oh, absolutely.
And with that, the more you race with like-minded people, the more you learn from them, the better everybody gets all overall.
Right. Okay, well, thanks for joining me there, Doug, and talking to us. So good job coming in second place in the Cadillac, and that's going to do it for this week's race, unless there's anything else you want to throw out there, Doug, at the last minute.
Just wanted to mention that next week we are going to be at Virginia International South Course, and we'll be having open practices and hosted all week at 6 p.m. and 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every day of the week during the week. So feel free to come out and have a peek at that. Try it out if you like it. Maybe even join the league.
There you go. All right. Okay, well, we will see you next week here for Dogs of Endurance Racing. And we will be broadcasting it here next Sunday starting at noon Eastern. And tomorrow night I will be broadcasting the Old Farts League, and I believe they are at Las Vegas. So check out the schedule on MaxSpeedTV.com, and thanks for joining us here today on Twitch.